there's your past 3 bull runs. They're pretty much the same time frame. That was 18 months. That was 15 months. That was 15 months. And that time frame is from the Bitcoin halving to the top of the market. In my opinion, we're in for a consolidation period. And in that consolidation period, what I refuse to do is just sit and do nothing. Because a lot of people sat and did nothing in 2025. And there was even a guy in the comments the other day saying, everything's going to 20x from here. We're at the bottom, blah, blah. We're probably not at the bottom. And again, like I've said before, if your altcoin has not got an all-time high, last bull run, why would it get another one? And another guy commented saying that he disagreed because it's all about the tech, whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Trust me, it doesn't matter. What product, because people separate the product from the actual cryptocurrency price. And that is the issue. That is the issue. So you guys know I've partnered with Bitpanda. They are a crypto exchange and you can buy over 600 cryptocurrencies with them. Check them out, link in description. They've partnered with quite a few big players. Arsenal, PSG, NFL, AC Milan, Bayern Munich, amongst many others. As well as cryptocurrencies, you can buy into crypto indices. So infrastructure leaders, DeFi leaders, media and entertainment leaders, meme coin leaders, American crypto leaders, and then you've got, say, the top 5, top 10, top 25 by market cap. So if you were to go into, say, the BCI 10, it's made up of Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, BNB, Solana, Tron, Cardano, Chainlink, Litecoin, Sui. If you wanted to invest in them as a basket and indices. And you can check the performance as well, what it's been over the last 1 day, 7 days, 30 days, 6 months, etc. Compare them all. And if you're undecided about which crypto to invest in, it could be an option for you. Plenty of different features on here. There's savings plans, there's DCA limit orders, there's staking, there's various things that you can do. And you can also learn as well if you're unsure about certain aspects of crypto. So yeah, thanks to Bitpanda for sponsoring this video. If you want to learn more about them, what they do, click the link in the description. What originally got me into DeFi was CeFi, and that was something called Celsius Network, which has gone into bankruptcy. And Celsius Network was a crypto platform that enticed you to lock up your crypto with them because it was offering very good rates. And it was offering, shall we say, better rates if you got paid in their own token, which was Cell token. So here's some favorable rates, 10% on a stable coin if you earned it back in the Cell token, 7% if you got it back in USDC. And I was loving this because I was like, look, even on stable coins, I can earn quite a bit in here. And even the amount on Bitcoin. So if you locked up your Bitcoin with Celsius, look, you get 8% back in their own token. And the whole deal with Celsius was, well, you lock up your tokens, you get some of their token, and their token appreciates in price, and it's a flywheel of just consistent going up in price. And it had a lot of Bitcoin, Celsius, right? But they got greedy. They started to do a lot of stuff with this crypto. They didn't hold 1-for-1. It's a lot of places that you lock your crypto up with now. If there is been 50 Bitcoin deposited, let's just say on an easy level of 5,000 Bitcoin deposited, they should have 5,000 Bitcoin in the platform, but these didn't. They were playing around with a lot of users' funds, and there was basically a bank run on it because they didn't have the cash to cover the withdrawals because it wasn't 1-for-1. Subsequently, you had Celsius go, you had BlockFi go, you had a few other smaller ones go, and a lot of people lost money. I know a few friends who had money in this. Luckily, I only had like $10 left in it when I did it, and I sold Cell token in 2022. Now, there are still platforms that enable you to give your crypto to them, and they can give you rates back. One of the big, and obviously we had FTX that crashed as well. So, for example, we know probably one of the largest is crypto.com. Sponsors the F1, has a arena named after them. So when we talk about not your keys, not your coins, you lock up your crypto or give your crypto to any of these providers that give you a ROI back, whether it be, 4, 5, 6% on your crypto. If anything happens to these platforms, which has happened previously, your crypto disappears, right? And what you'll find with a lot of the providers, whether it's crypto.com, whether it's Binance, any of these exchanges, Coinbase, because you can do earning on Coinbase as well. There's many of them. What you'll find with these platforms is they have a lockup period. So what that means is you'll have to lock up your coins for a certain amount of time to get a certain amount of yield. So the longer you lock it up, the more yield you get back, right? But again, not your keys, not your coins. And that is the problem a lot of people fall into, is they think that a lot of these exchanges are basically like a bank where they take custodian of your crypto and it's covered up to a certain amount. And a lot of them will say they've got insurance. I'm sure Celsius said that. I'm sure FTX said that, but they don't. And people didn't get back what they were owed. And if they did get it back, they unfortunately got their tokens back at a cheaper price than they had them at. So they obviously were not able to sell because they got them back in the bear market and they lost them in the bull market, which is an unfortunate thing. So stage one of people wanting to actually use DeFi to get an ROI on their crypto, looking ahead that this year will potentially be sideways with a lot of people hodling, is the fact you can start here, right? Because let's be honest, people want to do stuff easy, don't they? They want to lock up the crypto, get an ROI back on it, and they want to do it the easy way, which is to use the platform. You buy the crypto to stake the crypto, which is fair enough. In my opinion, there's better ways to do it whilst holding the crypto you have in your cold wallet or your hot wallet, whatever that is. And what you can do is you can stake it. So this is a website called Staking Rewards. And you can basically search on here your crypto. Let's just say it's Solana. Gives you a reward rate, staking ratio, and you can look at different providers and you can get a ROI on them. You'll obviously have to do your own research on these. Let's say you got 10K, get $600 back on this. Let's be honest, it's not amazing. Not amazing. But if you just want to stake, that's it. If you want to look up as well, any providers, any particular protocols, go on this website, DeFi Llama, and you can search them. So again, I'm trying to think of a staking platform that I can search on here that's got pretty good rewards. Let's see if we can. So Lido is one of them. Lido is probably the highest TVL of an Ethereum-based staking provider. All the data is there for them. And then if you were to go on the website, if you got Ethereum, not a great rate, to be honest with you. Right? What you can also do is lend out your crypto. One of the largest platforms for that is Aave. And you can also stake on it. So these are the current rates. ETH 4.48%, USDT and USDC 5%, And then you've also got the markets. And then you can supply your crypto. But again, not fantastic rates, I'm going to lie, if you're just staking it. Yeah. The other thing you can do to release equity, and I've shown this, you can do it on Aave, but again, the best actual thing to show you, and you can try this yourself, I've shown this many times before, this is called Spark. So if you go on this, app.spark.fi, and you play around with this in terms of seeing what the possibilities are. Let's say you have some Bitcoin and you just want to hodl it, but instead of just waiting for something to happen, or maybe you're just chilling with it, but you want to put it to use, you don't want to sell it. Yeah, well, I know a lot of people don't want to sell the Bitcoin, that's fair enough. Let's say you have half a BTC. You can borrow stable coin against that. Let's just say in this example, 10K. Then you can use that 10K to do something. Yeah. At a rate of 3.63%. So you borrow the 10K, which is basically $363 a year you'd pay interest on that. Which ain't much, let's be honest. Right? And you can see how this will play out if you go on sandbox mode. Right, so we've got 0.5 BTC. Yeah. And let's say we lent the 10K in USDT. And you borrow. That's what rich people do. So this is the process you go through. And you can see here, right? And I'm not saying use this platform. This is just an example of what to do. Not what to do, but you can visually see everything. So on this, you can see in front of you half a Bitcoin. You borrow 10K of that, which is around 29% loan to value. And what it's saying in the corner is here. The liquidation price is 24K. Current price 68. Right? So if it was to get down, let's say to 30K BTC, you just need to add more collateral, aka more BTC, and then that liquidation price will lower. Or obviously pay back the loan. The idea is, though, that now BTC is half the price it was at the all-time high, is technically better if you're looking at doing this than when it's at its all-time high. Because let's be honest with you, you got the loan at the all-time high, liquidation rate's half of that, we've got to that, you know? So on a practical aspect, this is how it would work. And then forget staking, forget whatever. With that 10K, you can do what you want with it, right? In the UK, it's not classed as a disposal of assets because you've locked up your collateral, which is the BTC, because you've not disposed of the asset. You've just locked it up and then gain that 10K. And you have to just pay back, remember, 3% a year. But you don't have to pay it back in a certain time frame. Yeah? There's no contract. There's a smart contract, but there's no guy at the bank. There's no one ringing you. It's just there. And every time you log on, you can see where it's up to. So let's just say I went on approve on this. So look, that's the interest on it now, obviously, because I've just started it. So that would just go up as time goes on, right? But in theory, if you're over the years, let's just say 3 years go by, it's gaining $300 interest per year. So that's $900 extra you own. So instead of 10K or 11K to free up your BTC, you've locked your BTC up at 68K now, yeah? Half a BTC you've locked up. That half a BTC, in theory, in the next bull run, you could be unlocking it, and that half BTC at 68K, which is worth 34K, could be worth 50K, 60K, 70K, 80K. Do you see what I'm saying? So you're unlocking that appreciating asset, and you've used that appreciating asset to gain some cash. And in theory, if you're only borrowing it at the rate of, what was it, 3%? In theory, if with that 10K, you are making more than that 3% on that 10K, then you're making money. Yeah. And we were looking at things before with stable coins where you can get 5%, even just staking, you know, even just staking. So in my opinion, this is something to possibly consider. If you have got BTC and you want to potentially lock it up to free some cash to do something with it, even if you just spend it, yeah. And the big one to do it on, like I said, is Aave. There's quite a lot of chains on here. Got all the markets. So whatever your coin's on, you can connect it to here and then lend, borrow, do what you want. Now, of course, I'm going to say, if you extracted this 10K here, you could then put it to work over here. Yeah. Then put it to work over here. Because if you're getting, and we discussed this, even if you're getting 50% a year, and that's APR, not APY. APY is compounded. 50% APR a year. Think about that in simple terms. You know, $10,000, that's $5,000 per year, not compounded. So that would be 25K. And then you pay your loan back, which would be, if you do it over 3 years, 11K back. Then you've got 14K. Obviously, there's going to be peaks and troughs throughout that. So mentioned that the yields were low the last couple of weeks, but they have picked up recently. And just like this guy says here, Crypto Theory, started my first pool yesterday. Well done, sir. And even if you don't want to do the strategy that I've spoken about with locking up the assets, lending the stable coins, putting it to work that way, you can literally just start these pools from no money. Got a comment here. I'm getting some humble, no-risk APR on crypto exchange. Got to be honest, DeFi staking and borrowing scares me a little bit at this point. Again, like I said in the last, well, not the last video, but like I said before, the risk you have with getting the APR on a crypto exchange is if something happens to the said crypto exchange, which I'm not saying it 100% will, but it has happened several times before with Celsius, FTX, BlockFi, Freeway. The list goes on. And I don't see it ending anytime soon. Unfortunately. This, what I've shown in front of you, once you understand the key aspects of it, once you understand the simplicity of it, you'll wonder why you never started earlier. Because that's what I thought. So off a small $3,700 here, it's doing about $10 a day. The earned is actually higher than daily rewards now. So people will say, oh, it doesn't compute. It does, because yesterday I took rewards on this and it's just gone to $13. So it's at $13 a day at the moment. Right? So it's saying monthly This is $303. So just under 10%. It's actually probably more at the moment. If I put $13.86 times 30, that's around $400. So it's earning about $400 a month. I think that's over 10%. And that's why sometimes I had a comment the other day of a guy that said, is 10% realistic? But personally, for me, I've seen it. You can get more if you compress the ranges. You get less if you widen the ranges. It depends on your portfolio, your risk appetite, the pools you're in, the coins you want, etc., etc., etc. You know, depends on a number of factors. But for me, I'd say 10% in my case is what is happening. So if you extrapolate that out, scale it up, 3,700 getting 10% a month, 10K getting 1K a month, 20K getting 2K, 30K getting 3K, 50K getting 5K, etc., etc. Again, if you just want to stake, that's fine. Or if you just want to DCA into your coin that's going down, that is fine as well. This is your coin. Your coin's not mine. So far on this, since I set up the spreadsheet, $76 taken since I started recording it, probably a week ago. So we'll see what this rises to, because like I said, the yields have picked up, and I'm yielding mainly Ethereum, and then some Kita, and then the shitcoin pool I'm just swapping for BTC. And then I'm going to be scaling this pool up as we go on, and it's just gaining income.